Hello, cinnamon sprinkle baby dolls. So Reddit, aka the Soy Drinkers Association, has banded together to make a thread about my video. And I'm actually impressed. I think it was really cool. So what I really liked is that they actually watched the video. But unfortunately, they missed a few key things. You see, let's go through this. So they call me a HEX YouTuber. And in the comments, some people refer to me as a HEX maxi and a HEX influencer, which is funny because would a HEX influencer have a buy Bitcoin picture? I mean, it's just people see what they want to see. It really brought a tear to my eye laughing. I was like, what? I don't comprendo. Okay, so Reddit is, I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, before I discovered Twitter and YouTube and I knew what I was doing in crypto, I was on Reddit because it seems like a logical place. And I'm not here to go through this whole thread again. I've already made 2 videos. We've spent enough time. They are inverse Jim Cramer all over. I've made all the videos. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see. You should watch both of them because I'm giving you like a historical account of like I know what they're all talking about. Every single point, every single person, because I was there. And then as I got more information, I went away from that. It's not like I suspended belief. It's that I'm like, oh, this is what happens when you don't do all the research yourself. And you really marry your bags and you marry your view. So you're never going to make it as an investor, as a trader, if you do that, okay? So a lot of these people, it's funny to have tongue-in-cheek stuff like, hey, damn, these Redditors won't let me dump my bags. Like, see, Redditors, right? Can I call you friends? You guys and girls, you have to remember, your bearish threads are going to get more people bullish. They don't know what they're doing here. Okay, now it's a collective. It's not like there's one person in charge. But in crypto, people make the most FOMO when they go from hatred, from hate to neutral to love. Okay, this is the biggest pump, right? From hate to neutral to love. All right, this is what sends everything through the moon. Relationships, popular influencers, music artists, politicians, these type of emotional swings, it gets people hooked. And yes, this is what's happening with HEX right now. That's why I'm telling you. I don't know if you've noticed by now, Richard Hart's very polarizing and the HEX community is very polarizing. And you can be sure that a lot of people started with hatred and they moved to neutral and now they love it. They just don't want to leave it. That's what you want to find. That's what you want to see. It's the same thing that happened with Bitcoin. The exact same thing, man. And you're going to say, okay, but that's just Bitcoin. Nope. Have you heard of a little coin called Ethereum? Did you know Ethereum? Go check the thread on Bitcoin Forum Talk when they first conceived of Ethereum. A young man named Vitalik with a brain so big it could barely fit in his skull. He made the thread on Ethereum. Go through and read it. And so many people were absolutely hating it. And you know what's interesting? There are Bitcoin influencers out there. They have pivoted their Bitcoin maxi view because of Ethereum. They used to hate it. Hate. And now they can see a path for its relevance in the world. So that's just the thing. That's just what happens here. You start with hate. You go to neutral and then love. So this thread, obviously, we're not going to go through all these other comments, but I want to bring this to your attention, friends. So this is actually a warning sign. So we have to get serious now. Because for some context, okay, Reddit, the Soy Drinkers Association, back in 2019 and 2020, let me get the chart for you. I want to show you exactly the period. Let's put on a weekly, all right? Reddit, during this period, okay, I was visiting it every day, okay? What's funny, if you go to my Reddit account, I actually said, hey, you should be really going all in. It was literally right here. I think I made a thread right here. And no one cared. No one cared because everyone was gone. But I want you to know that during this period, friends, I know you're going to laugh because this is going to sound crazy, but during this whole period, okay, actually it was after the collapse, no one believed Bitcoin would break $20,000 in less than 5 years. No one, okay? And when I mean no one, I mean no one. Because I was there every day. The consensus view was that it's going to be a very, very long time. Let's put it on a linear chart. This is what everyone was looking at, all right? This is what everyone was looking at. It was going to be a very, very long time. Even here. I was like, bro, we're going straight up. We're going to go up. Everything's going to be great because they're going to print money. The governments and politicians haven't learned anything. Fiat's going to keep getting printed. All these talking points. No one cared. No one cared because the price went down. Now, this is what happens. The rinsing part happened. And see, you're probably going to see this part here. Yeah, you're going to see this part and go, wait a minute. How come we ran up to 10 to 13K, but people still stayed bearish? And this is, friends, I made the Wall Street cheat sheet. Wall Street cheat sheet to show you. I've made my post multiple times. I'm going to get it here for you just to show you. The Wall Street cheat sheet. There is the pattern here. Do you see disbelief here? And hope and disbelief again. This period is like 12 to 15 months. So the disbelief is, first you exit the depression. So people have stopped being depressed. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it's going up, right? But all of us along, we don't really care. We're not in really disbelief. We're like, oh my God, just I've wasted so many years. I've lost everything. I don't really care, right? But the bears are on the sidelines. The people who want to get in, they want to participate. That's why they're in disbelief. They go, what? How's it going down? Interest rates that are high. The economy's bad. Everything's really trash out there. How's it going up? I don't believe this, right? Disbelief. Then what happens is disbelief goes just long enough to tickle your fancy and give you hope. Just long enough. Maybe you poke above a level. Maybe Bitcoin pokes 30,100. Whatever the price is, it doesn't really matter. Just for some reason, it just gets enough people like, oh my God, I hope that we continue. That's what it does. And as soon as you get that, bang, back down to disbelief. Oh man, this is going to fail like all the other ones. Yep. Every single time. That's what this whole period was. So this period, baby doll friends, is the most dangerous period of all. Okay. Actually, it's not as dangerous as capitulation, but this is very dangerous because there's boredom. All right. At least in the capitulation, things are moving down and people are calling me saying, hey, is it all going to zero? Are we all going to be starving tomorrow? I go, no, the fundamentals are still strong. Unfortunately, we're victims of this. We just got to sit through this and this is pain. Yes. Put a water pistol to my head. I'll squirt me all you want as well. So the disbelief and hope is when people get bored. It's when they get dangerous. You know why dangerous? Because down here, most of us, our portfolios are down so much, you can't do anything. But disbelief is the first confirmed people start entering and your portfolio bags start rising a bit. So your portfolio does this chart, literally. Your portfolio does this chart. And you're like, oh, well, I can't sell at minus 90%. But then some money starts coming in and you're like, we had like a plus 50% rally off the lows. You're still down bad from the top, by the way. But in this period, you start to notice other people and you start to say, oh my God, other people, they made money in this AI coin and in this meme and then trading and this and that. And then this is where everyone gets absolutely destroyed. This is actually where people lose their positions. This part, it's the most dangerous part. They give up right at the very end. Very sad to see. So that's what Reddit was going through here. So this whole period, that's what Reddit was going through. And I was just like, super bull. I was like, doesn't matter, still on track. 4-year cycle, still on track, doesn't matter. I'd come in, I did all the research myself. I was so confident because the conclusions I got were outside of the crypto sphere. I did my measurements on Bitcoin and all the money, and I did all the research myself. So when I came and I saw Reddit, I felt like, I can contribute here. But here was the thing. What do you think happened, right? Do you think, like I just said to you, do you think everybody was welcoming? Yeah, everything's going to be great. Nope. No, they weren't. The Soy Drinkers Association, oh man, they had the bottles out. Let's get a bottled milk emoji here. Let's get a bottled milk emoji. So they had everywhere here. It was not good, friends. It was not good. It was literally hope and disbelief everywhere. But every time it was disbelief, 5x more engagement. And no one believed in Bitcoin, definitely not Ethereum. Like, don't even put Ethereum in the same sentence as Bitcoin. You know, all the Ethereum threads were downvoted. All the Ethereum talks, it was considered like a Ponzi scam that's not going to work. It was considered hated. I remember reading threads and people talking about how Vitalik should have worked more with Bitcoin instead. And he went on this endeavor and he heard it himself. So that was the general premise, man. The general premise was Bitcoin's down because of what Vitalik did. It's like he caused all this mess and now everything's gone to zero and it's his fault. He should have kept everyone there, but he made this stupid thing that everyone could launch, deep brain chain and all these other garbage stuff on. So no one had any belief. Isn't it funny now? I'm going to bring you the Soy Drinkers Association in this thread. This is why it's about to get super dangerous, right? They mention here, we're going to read this part together. So they are now referring to me. So they're saying they also mocked us by saying that we are a great source for inverse trading, okay? And they say, damn, they might have a point there. Though our key approach here is to DCA Ethereum and Bitcoin. And good luck speaking out against that strategy. When I read this, my heart dropped. I was like, okay, before I thought there was like a 60% chance Bitcoin Ethereum's doomed. Now I'm leaning more towards 80%. I'm like, oh my God. This is what they lean on. This is their go-to strategy. Back here, friends, this was the best part. Okay. Back here, when everyone was depressed, they were not saying DCA buy Bitcoin. Right? Yeah, there were people saying it, but other people were saying, don't put more than you can afford to lose. If you have the stock market or, some side assets property, you'll be able to hedge yourself in case this thing doesn't come up for 10 years. That's what they were saying. They were talking about outside crypto assets. And now, look at the contrast. The contrast is, we can lean on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do you see how there is now a seismic shift here? There is a big paradigm shift of evolution that's happened with the average crypto, the psychology of everyone coming in. So that's why I'm here to tell you this is a difference. This is a difference, okay? And now, obviously, I'm here to guide your hand for the next part. The next part is it doesn't end the way you think. You read this sentence and you go, that means I should DCA buy Bitcoin Ethereum. Nope. No, it doesn't. Because the crowd is wrong. Why is the crowd wrong? Right? The crowd is wrong because, look at this. In everyone's mind, look at this. Bitcoin dropped 77% instead of 90%, okay? It only dropped 77% and recovered up to like 66% down precisely because there is enough people out there who believe in DCA buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's why. And you probably say, what's wrong with that? The problem is, where's your edge if everyone's already doing it? You are in bed with the soy drinkers and everyone else. You had a country, Bitcoin, right? And this is for Ethereum as well, Bitcoin, right? 1, a country adopted it. 2, shielded by world's richest man, Elon. 3, Michael Saylor bought Roger Ver's 30,000x bag with 1 billion and is actually super confident about it. Okay, look at this. See when I put it to you like this, friend? See when I put it like this to you? You think about it differently, right? What about also a Bitcoin ETF has come, even though it's futures, all right? So I'm not saying it's the end. I'm just saying this is a different picture, all right? Look at this. This is the difference between this cycle and last cycle. Let's bring these points here back when the soy drinkers were basically battling me, and I'm trying to tell everyone to be bullish, right? And they weren't. Look at this, okay? So back here, I was actually saying a country is going to adopt it. I was actually saying, dude, country's going to have to adopt this. They have to. They literally have to. The country's so trash. I was saying that. Shielded by the world's richest man, Elon. Now, I didn't think Elon would ever do anything like that, but I did believe there was some element to popularity. This would be niche culture. I did have some thinking in my mind, this could be a unique edge for someone really rich because this is going to the moon, right? Michael Saylor buying Roger Ver's 30,000X bag. Now, that was also interesting because think about his conviction. Like, he doesn't think about it like that. He literally bought someone else's 30,000X bag and he still thinks he's an early innovator. Roger Ver was the innovator, okay? You're not an innovator. You're not even in the early majority, all right? They always raise the bar. So now that there's 40 million people who hold Bitcoin or whatever number is, they think I think it's roughly, that's what 40 million, that's what it is on Google. They say, oh, well, there's 8 billion people in the world, you know? But it's the same thing. You can say that with anything. Like Coca-Cola, they might say, 400 million people drink Coke every day. And they go, well, one day it's going to be 8 billion. That's 20x, man. We're going to go up 20x. No. You could always raise the number, always. That's what I've noticed. They always, as soon as the numbers get higher, the pie in the sky numbers come. Oh, well, they're going to print infinite money, so there's no limit. Every single time, friends. And the Bitcoin ETF futures, it did come. It did come. I thought it was going to be spot, but hey, an ETF came, futures came. So you've made so much progress. So look at this Reddit thread. You're thinking about this. You're thinking, okay, the average soy drinker wants to believe in leaning on DCA buying Ethereum and Bitcoin. This is giving warning signs to me. Huge warning signs. So now, like we already know, man. We already know the third cycle curse. We already know. We're going to delete these. We're just going to let's have a look here. Put on a log chart. Just so you know, right? We go off the halvenings. This is just what's worked so far in crypto. Okay. The first halvening, you have the second, you have the third. So this was cycle 1, huge, right? Cycle 2, semi-huge. Cycle 3, pretty poopy. So obviously it's pretty poopy. This is where it started. The poopiness started. Now we're going into cycle 4. We're going into cycle 4, which is going to be next year. So I'm just letting you now know. Look what it took for them to finally do this. So this might be something interesting for HEX and Pulse Chain. All right. So HEX has only been around for 3 years. And Reddit, even in Bitcoin's 10th year, 9th year, they were skeptical. Reddit was skeptical still here after 10 years of creation, 9 to 10 years. It was only until it went up here actually completed the third cycle was when they went, you know what, this thing's actually here to stay. So it's interesting, right? It's interesting. That's why I predict, right, that even though HEX is, if you look at it, where it is in the cycle, hopefully we're around here, I still think even after HEX maybe goes nuclear, maybe $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 in the next bull run, if it does that and it comes back down, I think Reddit is still going to be skeptical. And it will only be, right, when HEX hits like its third wave, 2 cycles from now, maybe, they'll be like, you got to DCA this. We'll have different ways of measuring and different metrics, right? So it could be different. We might have different standards on coin ranking websites that monitor stuff differently, okay? So this is something to think about. It's changing and it's evolving. So if you learn one thing from this message, I want you to know that Bitcoin and Ethereum, not only are they like, you could say they're doomed. They're doomed. There's no more edge there. There's no risk. Okay. So before you want reward, that's what I want you to know. Before you think about your reward, think about what risk are you taking. And if you say, oh, there's no risk, there's no perceived risk out there, then you actually ain't gonna make your reward. It's not gonna happen. Or if you are gonna make the reward, it's probably gonna take like 3 times longer than you think. Instead of 3 years, it's gonna take 9 years. So that's the world we're living in. And it did change. These opinions have changed over time. Luckily, you have me as a historian who was there to actually tell you that the soy drinkers, what we were all talking about, what they were feeling, they were not bullish whatsoever. Nobody believed Bitcoin will break 20K like in a long, long, long time. And look what happened. They're all wrong. So yeah, they are inverse. It is important to see where the crowd is. I can't give you a formula, or I can't make a formula for myself. You got to do the hard work. And we are here. Luckily, you're watching my video. I'll give this content for free. And if you like heard this and you're like, don't feel scared about Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're still going up. However, you now have to think, how much are you going to get out of a next cycle from bottom to top where you exit? Because at this point, you don't have the switch from hate to neutral to love. In fact, if we bring that up again, hate, neutral, like, love. Unfortunately, with Bitcoin and Ethereum, people already here, man. People already here. How much further can you go beyond that? People aren't even neutral on Ethereum. People actually like love it now. Think about that. Where is your edge coming from? Tell your mum you love her, friends. I'll catch you next time.